Imagine a future where our planet is unrecognizable. What could possibly lead us to such a dystopian reality? As we look ahead to the next 100 years, the course of our world hangs in the balance. The Earth's future is not written in stone, but rather it is something that we, as its inhabitants, have the power to shape. We stand at the precipice of major environmental catastrophes, each one with the potential to irrevocably change our world. Rising tides could swallow our coastal cities. Silent forests once teeming with life could stand empty and desolate. Our skies could become so choked with pollution that fresh air becomes a luxury. The fields that feed us could turn barren, leaving billions hungry. These aren't just dystopian fantasies, but potential realities if we don't act now. The Earth's future is a reflection of our actions today. Our choices, both big and small, have the power to change the course of history. The choices we make today will shape the future of our planet. Our first stop on this journey into the future is the world's coastlines. But wait, where have they gone? Imagine waking up one day to find that the familiar city skyline along the coast has disappeared. Why? Because the very foundation that our cities are built upon, the land, has been swallowed by the ocean. This isn't just a dystopian tale, it's a potential reality we face due to the impact of global warming on sea levels. The relationship between global warming and rising sea levels is not a complex one. As the Earth's temperature increases, so does the temperature of our oceans. This causes the polar ice caps to melt at an alarming rate, contributing to a rise in sea levels. It's like adding extra cubes of ice to your drink on a hot day. As the ice melts, the level of liquid in your glass rises. Now extrapolate that to a global scale. The ice from the vast ice sheets covering Greenland and Antarctica melts into the sea, causing a significant rise in sea levels. This is not just a hypothetical scenario, it's happening right now. Scientists predict that if this melting continues at the current rate, sea levels could rise by up to 6 feet by the end of this century. What does this mean for our coastal cities? Well, a 6-foot rise in sea level would be disastrous. Many of our major cities like New York, Miami, Shanghai, and Mumbai could be partially or fully submerged. The homes of millions, the streets we walk, the landmarks we hold dear, all could be claimed by the ocean. But it's not just about losing physical structures. It's about losing communities, histories, and identities. It's about the displacement of people, the loss of livelihoods, and the ripple effect on global economies. The sea is rising, and if we do not act, it will claim our homes. Our coastlines, the frontiers of our civilizations, are under threat. We are standing at the edge, staring at a future where the sea could become our uninvited guest. We have the power to change this narrative. The question is, will we? Next, picture a forest without a single bird's song. Can you hear the silence? Imagine a world where the rustling leaves are the only sound that fills the air, where the once vibrant ecosystems are now quiet and still. This is the reality of our silent forests. A reality that could become all the more prevalent if we don't address the pressing issue of deforestation. Deforestation is like a thief in the night, quietly robbing our planet of its precious biodiversity. It's a growing crisis that's not only stripping the Earth of its beautiful green attire, but also leaving many species homeless. Every minute, an area of forest equivalent to 50 soccer fields is lost. And with each tree that falls, we're not just losing oxygen providers, but also the intricate web of life that calls these forests home. Each forest is a unique, bustling city of life, housing millions of different species, many of which we may not even know exist yet. From the towering trees to the tiny insects, every organism plays a crucial role in maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. But with the relentless march of deforestation, these cities are being razed to the ground, leaving countless species without a place to call home. Imagine the domino effect this could have. The extinction of one species could lead to the downfall of another, and another, creating a cascade of loss that could forever alter the fabric of life on Earth. Biodiversity isn't just about the number of species, it's about the health of our planet. And without it, our world would be a much poorer place. But this doesn't have to be our future. We have the power to change the course of this narrative, to ensure that our forests remain vibrant and full of life. It's not just about saving trees, it's about preserving the symphony of life that exists within them. We need to act now before it's too late, because without our intervention, the forests may fall silent forever. Now, look up at the sky. Is it blue or is it grey? Imagine a world where the once clear blue skies we took for granted are replaced with a thick, choking smog. The air, heavy and acrid, clings to your skin and fills your lungs. This is the reality of air pollution, an environmental catastrophe that's already knocking on our door. Air pollution is not some distant threat. It's here, it's now, and it's wreaking havoc on both our health and our climate. You see, air pollution is a silent killer, causing millions of premature deaths each year. It's the children, the elderly, and those with underlying health conditions that bear the brunt of this invisible menace. But it's not just our health that's at stake. Air pollution is also a major player in the climate change game. The same industries that belch out smog and soot are also pumping huge amounts of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. These gases trap heat, causing our planet to warm at an alarming rate. Unchecked industrial activity is a key culprit in this unfolding crisis. Factories spew out pollutants, cars burn fossil fuels, and power plants emit a cocktail of toxins. This relentless onslaught on our atmosphere is turning our skies grey, our lungs black, and our future uncertain. But this isn't a foregone conclusion. We have the power to change the narrative. By implementing stricter regulations on industries, investing in renewable energy, and promoting sustainable practices, we can curb air pollution and reclaim our blue skies. We can create cities where the air is clean, where children can play outside without fear, and where the color of the sky is determined by the weather, not the pollution index. We can breathe life back into our planet, but it requires action, and it requires it now. The air we breathe is under threat, and only we can clear the skies. Finally, imagine a world where the fields are barren and the rivers run dry. Is this the world we want to leave for our children? A world where the once lush and fertile fields have turned into vast expanses of barren land, unable to sustain any form of life. A world where the once gushing rivers are now just trickles of their former selves, unable to quench the thirst of the world's inhabitants. This could be our reality if we continue with our current practices of overexploitation of resources. Overexploitation, a term that may sound complex, but in essence, it's a simple concept. It's when we take more than we can replace. It's when we use water faster than it can be replenished, when we farm our soils until they are exhausted, unable to produce the crops we need to feed our growing population. Unsustainable farming practices are a major contributor to this issue. We've created a system that prioritizes high yields and fast growth over the health and sustainability of our soils. We've pumped our fields full of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, which, while boosting crop productivity in the short term, have long-term consequences. They degrade the soil quality, reducing its fertility and capacity to hold water, leading to soil erosion and desertification. And let's talk about water. Water, the lifeblood of our planet, is being used at an alarming rate. We're draining our aquifers and rivers dry for agriculture, industry, and domestic use. In many parts of the world, water scarcity is already a harsh reality, and if we continue on this path, it could become a global issue, leading to widespread hunger and thirst. So the question is, will we wait until our fields are barren and our rivers run dry to take action? Will we wait until hunger and thirst are not just issues faced by some, but by all? Our fields may turn barren, our rivers may run dry if we continue to take more than we give. It's a sobering thought, but one that we must confront if we hope to secure a sustainable future for our children and generations to come. So, what future do we choose for our planet? As we've seen, the consequences of inaction are severe. The rising tides, silent forests, choking skies, and barren fields are not inevitable outcomes. They are choices, and we have the power to choose differently. Each of us has a role to play in this global effort. We can reduce, reuse, and recycle. Opt for public transport, cycling, or walking instead of driving. Plant trees. Advocate for sustainable practices in our communities and workplaces. Support organizations that protect our environment. On a larger scale, we can push for policies that prioritize the planet over profit. We can demand transparency and accountability from corporations and governments alike. Change is not just possible, it's necessary. And it starts with us. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to a larger movement of change. The future of our planet is in our hands. Act now for a greener and healthier tomorrow.